And we are back with another episode of the podcast presented by Simple Math Matrix. It's your boy, Mr. aka Super Raw 357, best known as Prince Godbody, and I'm joined by.
Damn top funny, not the funniest, but kind of funny.
Hey, I feel it, I feel it. And sadly, this week we are starting off with terrible news. I want to open up by saying rest in peace to Takeoff of the Migos.
Man, that's sick work, man. Rest in peace to Takeoff. And it's crazy, especially with Takeoff or any of the Migos, if any of it would have happened to any of them. The Migos have been a cultural movement, and it's one of those things where people want to call them whack or all their music they had out has been whack since then, but nah. The Migos are a culture. It didn't take a death to prove that. The Migos are a big group,
yeah.
but it's still R.I.P. Takeoff, man. And always been my favorite, always been the best spitter in the group. They all had their own attributes, but he was definitely the best spitter, the backbone of the Migos. So for him to be gone, it's like, damn, man, the Migos are really like, they're done. Like,
The sound of the Migos, we were talking about this. A lot of the Migos sound is those fucking Takeoff ad
libs, yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Most of his ad libs were like the structure of the Migos songs.
Like, yeah. And Takeoff, and it's sad, like you said, for him to be the one that's gone. Really is the one, like, beyond all the bullshit that's going on in their personal lives.
Yeah.
For him to be gone, that means the Migos sound is gone.
Yeah, it's not even about any problems beforehand, afterhand, or anything like that. It's just for the pure sound of what the Migos and they did for their music. Takeoff was the backbone of the music, and it's not even with them two together. Well, like I said, but despite the problems, Offset and Quavo together, they're not getting that same chemistry that you would get from Takeoff just being there. Like he just elevated each song. And it's crazy that it had to be Takeoff of all people too.
Yeah, it really is.
And that's the worst part about it all.
And I guess to give some background, if you aren't familiar, if you've been under a rock, they were in Houston for Jazz Prince's birthday. There was a dice game that occurred. Some qualms occurred at the dice game. Guns were pulled and shot, and somehow and unfortunately, Takeoff was the only victim of those gunshots.
Well, there was actually, I believe, don't quote me, but I think there's two other victims of gunshots. He was the only one that was like fatally wounded.
Yeah, fatally wounded. Then that may be very possible. You might be right about that.
Yeah.
From what I've read, I know that those are the only ones that, well, it would of course be the only ones they're talking about.
Yeah.
And a lot of people kind of wanted to bring up the discussion of rap is the most dangerous profession in this situation. And I don't think that this necessarily pertains this time.
Yeah. You can't say something's dangerous when you're implementing the danger to yourself. You shooting dice, like you can't say that's harmless. Nobody should be getting hurt when you can go to the casino and do it. You know what I'm saying? Like you just gotta be smart about these things and the way it's going. I'm not saying Takeoff had any part into it, but
he didn't. That's the wildest part.
It's not. But rap isn't the dangerous profession. The only one that comes, like most of these are just random robberies, and it's just the unfortunates of life, just not being a rapper. Anybody with money, that's probably going to happen to.
But it doesn't happen to white musicians. You know what I'm saying? Ed Sheeran doesn't get robbed.
Yeah, and that's because Ed Sheeran isn't also putting out violence into the world too. I'm not disrespecting any dead rappers.
Of course,
no.
But this isn't about Takeoff.
Yeah,
this is about
just in
people
general
claiming that rap is.
Because it's definitely not a deadly profession when you're put. I mean, it could be a deadly profession when you're putting deadly words into the world. That's just it's give and take and karma.
Yeah.
But it's sad that it has to happen though, because at the end of the day, I think music can progress without all of the violence, gang culture, guns, just all of it in general. It could all go.
Oh yeah, at one point, motherfuckers were just rapping about helping the black community. And if you weren't doing that, you're rapping trying to make bitches shake their ass.
Exactly.
I mean, that's a terrible way to put it, but you know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing, because nowadays you have people trying to emulate what's going on in the music, whether that's what you intended or not. It's what's happening. Like you can't just ignore that fact. But in the end of the day, man, it's still sad to see anybody lose their life,
especially over a dice game going wrong.
Exactly, man.
When you I don't want to like. I hate in the light of a man's death to really like nitpick it, but I will say, I think a lot of people in our community that definitely are gamblers try to gamble with money they don't have.
Nah, I don't think that's not necessarily a problem.
No, in this situation, that's not the problem.
Yeah.
So that's what's the crazier problem with here is don't gamble with money you're not willing to just give up.
It's not even about that. It's all about just the ego. Leave the ego at home because
Yeah, that's
as
true. That's
I
very
gamble
true.
my damn self. I shoot dice. I do it more protected. Definitely nowhere close to that many people around at all. Just close friends. People I know
Yeah,
we get money right then
yeah,
and there. But that's just the common rule of thumb. Like if you're when you just can't get your emotions, have to stay away from it because at the end of the day, you came there to win or lose money,
yeah. That's
and
very
you
true.
can't tell people. And that's the problem. Like I said, man, it comes to the point where you can't say it's a dangerous profession when I mean it sucks, but like you're going into these places like you can just go to a casino and shoot dice if what I'm saying
Yeah,
that's what you want to do.
yeah. You're very right.
It's just all about you have to be aware of your surroundings, like and it was just stupid for the gunmen. Like that's you're on the you're those are the guys that you came with and you shoot them in the head like. You know what I'm saying? Like what?
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah,
just all about
yeah,
how they're moving. And they're all moving wrong, and it's no fault to take off whatsoever. Because, like you said, he doesn't get in any trouble. He's not worried about any other people. Stay in his own lane. It was just a sad, unfortunate event that gun toting has become just the new normal, and this is
yep,
the result of it.
yep.
And that's the problem in itself. Is
That's
that
very
people need to
true.
realize that having a gun doesn't make you cool, doesn't make you tough. I mean, that's coming from a guy who doesn't have a gun, is never going to get a gun, and doesn't need one.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm in the suburbs, so it's hard to say. You know, what I'm saying put down the guns, but at some point you got to stop losing the people around you to say like, damn, man. The guns aren't necessary at the end of the day.
yeah. You're very right about that.
But RP take off though. 'Cause
Yeah,
everybody
that's why
still
I
love
really
take
want to
off.
hit it off. Is RP takeoff. Now, to get into some still not no way lighter news. You know what I'm saying? Way lighter news.
Definitely.
It seems like they finally have been able to push Dan Snyder out of the
Yeah,
NFL.
he looks like he's about to be out of there, man.
So
I don't even feel bad for him. That's the
oh
sad
yeah,
part.
no, I wouldn't either. With all the shit he was doing, there's no way you could feel bad for the guy.
Excuse me.
But Dan Snyder has reportedly hired Bank of America to assist him with selling the Washington Commanders. If you're not familiar, Dan Schneider, about 5 years ago, there was a report that came out that was saying he was essentially sex trafficking the cheerleaders, maybe
Yeah.
not
He's sex
prostituting them out,
trafficking.
yeah, but
And
he was
then
sex
yeah,
trafficking the cheerleaders.
which is sick. Work.
Yeah, and more shit has come out beyond just like that financial shit and just
Yeah.
ethics shit. And earlier this year reported that essentially it was Dan Snyder versus the NFL. He was trying to say that he had dirt on Roger Goodell and all the owners that would break the entire league.
Which I
And
want to see.
yeah,
I'm
I
not gonna
do
lie.
want to see,
I would
yes.
subscribe to that page.
Yeah,
$9.99 a month if
yeah,
possible.
yeah. But at the same time, he was also saying that, or the league owners were saying that, no, we all kind of get along, except for everybody fucking hates
Dan
Dan.
Snyder, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Who
saying?
wouldn't though?
Yeah, so now he's selling the team. And I don't know if you saw, but Robert Griffin III was on Twitter saying he wanted to buy a stake in it and bring 10 fans on with them for free.
Oh wow,
So
that's
give 10
wild.
fans a stake of the team for free.
That would be cool. That'd be
Or a
cool.
percentage of a stake.
That's definitely cool. I don't see RG3 doing that necessarily.
I do.
I see it as an empty promise, but
No, you
that's
know
I
who
mean,
buys
it
this?
is.
Yeah, the same group that wanted to buy the Panthers when they were for sale. So that's Steph and Diddy and them.
Oh
You
damn!
know what
damn,
I'm saying?
damn, I
Like they
didn't know
want to
that.
like it's going to be a black owner. I could
I
not
go,
guarantee you,
yeah.
but
9 times out of 10, hey, we might get LeBron.
That's
coming over
exactly.
there. I think that might be the move because he always talk about owning a team. I don't know though.
I
Only
can
because it's Washington. I hate to say it, and it's hard to do, but that team needs to be moved. I hate to say it. That team has
it
to,
doesn't need to be moved. It needs new ownership. It needs new ownership.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to play for Dan Snyder.
Who does?
Who wouldn't want to play for LeBron
Imagine
James?
getting drafted and like with the #1 pick in the NFL draft, the Commander select, and you're like, "Fuck, hope it's
Yeah,
not me, hope it's not me,
yeah.
hope it's not me," and then it's you. You're like, "Fuck, I gotta go work here." Like,
Exactly.
this is my new 9 to 5 is with Dan Schneider and the
And it's
Washington
not the
Commanders.
city, it's nothing but the owner.
Yeah.
So with him getting out of the NFL, this has been one of the longest push outs I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
It took him forever to get to this point.
Yeah.
Because they've been wanting him the fuck out of here.
I think he wanted to go too. It's just
I don't think
how
he didn't want to go.
See, it's
In
not
my
that he
opinion.
didn't want to go. It's probably more or less that he wanted to go, but he didn't want to get pushed out, which is currently happening. It's like fuck. It's more or less the embarrassment of it all that he probably just didn't want to happen. And now it's literally like he didn't want to get embarrassed, but he probably wanted out at the same time. I think it's just a little mixture of both. He ended up getting both at the same time.
Yeah,
Embarrassed
that's
and
true.
pushed out.
That's true. I don't know. I think that now with this team up for sale,
Because I mean, the team hasn't been good or even had a spark of hope since RG3 was there. That was 2012, 13.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah,
It's
the
like
team,
what? He was like
but
the
that's
first
because
pick
of
in the
him.
2012 draft. So.
But that's because he's been doing this since the '90s.
Yeah.
He's
He
been
has had
doing
a
this
shit
bullshit
team.
since the '90s.
I can't even name you a player from the 90s on the once was the Redskins.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Damn.
And all right, so my question is, what do you think he actually had the dirt on the NFL owners?
Yeah,
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
When you know people that know people and y'all all have money, somebody has to keep a secret.
Yeah.
That's just the general rule.
Yeah, that's
Rule of
true.
thumb.
Yeah.
A lot of those people are in there and they don't, I mean, a lot of people with that much money, they think they can get away with it because they have that much money. So he probably does, because at the end of the day, he's getting away with stuff at the end of the day. He's not in jail or anything. So.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
he's going to
doesn't,
make money by selling the team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, that goes to show you he might have dirt, because, I mean, he's still there. And he's
Yeah,
still
yeah.
good and free to go.
He can just wait to go on TV and do it all.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. It's just wild, because you might not hear anything of it after he sells the team. That probably is like going to be the shut-in case.
The end of it, because they got him out. They finished the
Yeah,
problem.
and that's literally it. Okay, he's trying to expose. Let's get him rid of him.
Yeah, man, that's exactly what happened. So we're going to go ahead and end off this first half of the podcast with talking about something in the water. Something in the water is officially returning to Virginia.
I should have went to the first one.
Yeah, the first one, and I went to the first one. I feel like that's going to be the best one just in general. They moved to DC last year, and people just did not really love it. They didn't fuck with it.
It's
at
crazy
all.
because I didn't even know who was on the lineup last year. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't even hear
I
about it
couldn't
last
tell
year.
you who's there.
I don't even know. Man, only thing I do know is that it wasn't in Virginia.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can tell you. And that's not coming from. I didn't go to the first one. It's not coming from like a avid like. Oh, I love music festivals and it has to be in Virginia. I'm just telling you, like, the promotion was bad in my sense because it didn't reach me, and it's something in the water. So that's what you expect to happen. But one thing about good. One thing about with the whole something in the water coming back to Virginia is it brings back the staple. And with Pharrell, I think he did realize, like, damn, what they did to me was fucked up. And I think that's another thing that's missing from this whole plot is they realized that they killed his cousin. I mean, I don't know how close they were, and I can't tell them how close they were, but they killed his cousin, and he's going like, nothing's happening about it, so why would I throw a music festival? Which I was with him 100%. I'm just saying, as far as it went in D.C., I just didn't hear about it or headlines or anything about it. I don't even remember, like, a really big clip. I will say, though, I do remember it, like, happening in the moment. I was like, damn, they're still doing something in the water? Because I remember they said they weren't coming back to Virginia anymore, so it's crazy that they're
And what gets me is, what did the police department do to rectify killing his cousin?
Do you think they were going to do anything?
I mean, they had to have for him to have come back. And I'm almost sure they started a fund or some kind of movement. If I'm not mistaken, I might be totally incorrect.
Yeah.
I might be misremembering. But in general, like you said, nobody would have thought they would have came back to Virginia.
Yeah,
after killing his
exactly.
cousin.
Yeah.
But I also think at the same time, you can't have something in the water if it's not right by water. Like a river
Understandable.
is not an ocean.
Understandable, but I mean, yeah, you're 100% right. It's something in the water.
It's all just
Or
marketing,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I don't see how he changed that to DC. Like when he
Because
went to the
those
White
nearest
House.
place with the open space that was going
That
to
wasn't
do
worth
it.
it. Like you said, it should have been something on the water. It should have been a beach trip. Like that would have been.
But with the politics surrounding it, that's the, you know what I'm saying?
They should have picked a different
valid
beach.
reason.
Yeah, they should just pick a different
They
beach.
should went to Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, so a different beach. Yeah, just a different beach. Not
Yep.
fuck Virginia Beach. I mean, nobody wants to go there on a normal day. So
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even. Like, I don't.
Common College Beach Week is at Virginia Beach.
And that's
Black
sad if-
Beach Week and Black Bike Week.
Yeah,
are on
that
those
is true.
beaches, too.
That is true, though. That is true. That's not my entertainment. I don't think I can go swim in that green water. I can't even swim, and I wouldn't even risk my life in that green
Yeah,
water.
no, I know what you mean.
But I do want to see the lineups when it comes out. I do want to see who he has lined up for us. Off the top of your head, 5 artists you know for a fact.
I'm going to be there. He's going to have Pusha T.
Got to.
He's going to have, who else has he produced for recently?
Man, they gotta say it's a wide open. It's a wide open.
Yeah, it's
lane
really
right now.
actually got a really wide open for real.
I'm seeing Kodak Black.
Pusha T, I can see Kodak Black doing something in the water. Coming to Virginia, yeah, I can see him loving Virginia. Shit, that's a good question. Shit.
There's a lot of people.
You're talking about current artists.
Yeah, current artists.
Uzi.
Kodak Black.
Uzi will come back.
Oh man, I don't
Uzi's
know
on
if
tour now.
how big of a traction Uzi is right now.
He'll be putting out music during the time. All right,
When is
that'll be
the
next
projected
April.
date for it to come back?
All right, something in the word is going to be the middle of April next year.
April next year.
So Uzi's going to have a drop. Even if he drops this month, that's only 5 months
Yeah.
between the project dropping and people getting to see him live
Yeah.
for the first time.
Probably Uzi. Kodak, I know for sure they're probably gonna have
Baby
him there.
Keem.
Baby Keem, okay.
I wouldn't be surprised like a Kendrick.
Okay, yeah. I don't
Just
know.
cause for the chance
Kendrick
to
and
bring
something
people back.
Kendrick at something in the water.
That's just to bring people back.
I don't know if I can see that though. It's too big of a stretch. It's too big of a stretch though. Like the noticeable Jay-Z, that could have been a good one.
He was there the first one.
Yeah, exactly. So that would have been a good surprise.
And he has no music now.
You know what I'm saying? Like that makes sense. I'm saying I don't think
Tyler Creator.
That's a great one.
Again, he was there the first one though.
They need a DJ Drama to host it.
Yeah, he might do that.
Yeah,
he might.
That's another thing. DJ, that's a literally quick sidebar. DJ Drama's on a run.
Well, he just did West Side Gun.
Yeah, and
West Side Gun, Kodak.
I'm not even a West Side Gun a big listener, but the Fly Guy, I think it's Fly Guy Jr.
Fly Guy Jr.
Yeah. I just literally, I needed some more DJ Drama just yelling on that real quick.
You know what's crazy is on Reddit, the whites on Reddit fucking hate Fly Guy Jr.
Really?
They say it doesn't fit the tape and he's not flowing. And
You're tripping, man.
Like I said, it's an extension of the intro.
It was like so good. One thing I literally wanted, I needed another DJ Drama to, you thought it was over? Just keep talking shit for about, I need a good 2-minute track of just DJ Drama, just listing accolades and what he does better than people. How
1 million gangster grills.
Yeah, literally.
100,000 made each one. You do the math.
What did he say? He said, these gangster grill deal got me spending a lot of money on her names. I said, oh yeah, he's in his bag now. So shout out to DJ Drama, man. That almost made me want to hop in the booth just to get him screaming over.
Shout out Drama, shout out West Side Gun.
Yeah.
Hopefully me and Nate will get in this here studio and get a permanent record out to y'all about 10, because 10 is one of the best records of the year.
Yeah.
But like you said, DJ Drama, that's a good point to bring up just on another one.
Yeah.
He's on a tear this year.
Yeah, very good.
After because he's been everywhere with it. You know what I'm saying?
Like
the Jeezy joint is crazy.
Yeah.
For like if you're an old school Jeezy fan, that joint is immaculate.
Yeah.
This West Side Gun one is crazy.
Definitely.
He's got he's pimping Jack Harlow.
Yeah, and he got the Young Boy tape, which the Young Boy tape wasn't even that crazy. It's just the fact that when you got to realize, like, I grew up in my main years of rap was probably 2012, 2013. So Gangsta Grills was like the Spinrilla like theme. Like you would hear Gangsta Grills, you bastard, or just something up there.
Yeah.
So to hear that coming back, like just seeing all these rappers or DJs or any of them, like DJ Khaled, I love seeing people age gracefully where it's not too much with them. Like one thing about not them themselves, the music itself. Like hearing a Gangsta Grills almost get you like, damn, like you got a Gangsta Grills tape. Like damn, that's crazy.
The same feeling happened to me because I grew up a little bit. We're the same brothers, but like 2 or 3 years. So I actually remember like the Gangsta Grizzles on the CDs, like going there, like when you're walking to the car wash and shoe stores,
man.
And like when you're listening to fucking West Side, and he was like, "I'm with your bitch, she's a gangsta grizzly." Like,
like that's what I say. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
We need more. I didn't even know I was gonna be saying this, but we need more Gangsta Grills tapes, man. I didn't even know. Like it's crazy. I never grew up in a Gangsta Grills tape.
No, but we don't need too many, because everybody's going to want a Gangsta Grill.
Exactly. I want one. I don't even rap, but I want a Gangsta Grills tape. I was literally about to hit him up and say, yo, how much for the booking fee? Yeah. I paid, I got $25 now and $35 when I get paid. Yeah.
Shout out Philadelphia, shout out DJ Drama, shout out Generation Now.
Shout out the Philly, shout out the Eagles.
Go ahead and talk that shit real quick.
First of all, I'm not even the biggest baseball fan. Going back, I'm not gonna lie, we grew up in the suburbs, so we had a lot of I did personally had a lot of white friends, and they love baseball. Still to this day, they were big baseball fans. Back in the day, I was just a Philadelphia freak, so any sports team they had, I was on top of them.
Still me.
Used to watch the Phillies from 06 to about 2011, maybe 12.
Phillies went 08.
Yeah, so I seen that World Series, so I fell off for about, 9, almost 10 years now. I literally stopped watching for 10 years. I said, fuck it. I have a friend that he's really big on baseball. Picked it up and shit, the fucking Phillies went crazy this season. Thanks to T-Mobile Tuesday is the reason why I even started watching this season, because they gave us an MLB TV for the free piece.
Yeah.
So I took that shit and just been going crazy with them. So shout out to Phillies, man. I'm getting my baseball knowledge up. So anybody that want to go crazy in the comments, any white boys that want to talk that shit, your team is trash.
Phillies finna win the World Series.
Yeah, it's just crazy. I don't know when this is coming out.
Tonight's Wednesday, so we'll win Game 3 tonight.
Yeah, so we'll have Aaron Nola's pitching tonight.
Oh
man, if we can get a if they
If we get it done
what's
tonight,
that? I can't even fucking think.
tomorrow night,
Ranger Suarez, yeah,
tomorrow night, we might get a Phillies World
yeah,
Series
in,
win
in
and the
22.
Eagles 8-0 win
Tomorrow, yeah, yeah, and that's crazy.
tomorrow night.
It's wild, man, and well, we're definitely getting the Eagles 8-0 win, and it's so wild. It's crazy. The Eagles, we play the Texans, so it would just be that would be even sweeter.
Beat both Houston
Yeah,
2
both
times.
Houston literally get a championship,
Houston,
and we'll
oh
go for the 8
shit.
and 9. So
Oh
it'd be
my
yeah,
God, I
that would
didn't
be
even
like
put that
exactly. That
together.
would be. That's why I was kind of hoping we
I
win
didn't put that
tonight.
together.
All the stakes on the game tomorrow, and then
We fuck Houston.
it would be.
I
A
love
great
y'all
win.
music. I was born in Killeen.
Yeah.
So I was born the same day DJ Screw died.
Yeah,
Shout out DJ Screw, shout out Rap Lot, shout out Swish House, shout out Pimp C, shout out Port, shout out
I don't
all
know
that.
none of them niggas, so
But
fuck 'em.
fuck all that shit right now because the Phillies and the Eagles finna fucking take Houston
Yeah.
over tomorrow night.
Yeah, man.
Sorry,
It's gonna be
Jalen
a bad
Hurts.
year. It's a
Jalen
bad
Hurts
day.
finna get a win against his own
It's
city.
crazy. We have a home game. I don't know. Well, of course, because the
Yeah.
Phillies are playing at home. I hope the Eagles aren't playing at home because I'd be right across the street. You buy 2 tickets, shit.
Yeah.
Sneak into the World Series with your Eagles, goddamn
Shit.
ticket at that point.
They
'Cause
wouldn't give a fuck.
all
Philadelphia
stadiums
wouldn't
are like
give a
right
fuck.
across the street.
Philadelphia would be over. And the city would
Man.
burn if that happened.
It would almost be godly because they're both be ending at the same time. So
Yeah,
that would
being-
it's almost poetic, and you
Yeah.
gotta kind of see it happening because
Yeah.
it's damn near poetic. Phillies are
Poetry
so
emotion.
hot. We got T-minus 30 minutes till we
That's
get
exactly
to see
what
the
I think.
action.
Yup.
I predict. So tonight, after a hot game last night, give me 4-1 Phillies.
4-1. Yeah,
4-1.
7-0 last night. Yeah.
Give me 4-1 Phillies.
Give me 3-2 tomorrow.
Aaron
Not
Nola
3-1.
pitched 5 terrible innings in game 1. So I'm hoping tonight, if he does pitch, I don't know if I seen that right, so don't quote me, but if Aaron Nola pitches tonight, I guarantee a 4-1 dub. He has to make up for the bullshit innings he pitched in game 1. Even though we rallied back, but them innings were that was
Some
no
bullshit,
it's not gonna
yeah.
work. Ranger Suarez was looking amazing last night.
Oh
Shout out
my
to the
God,
guy.
perfect.
But man, to see the Eagles win 8-0, only 8-0 team, and then
Only
Phillies
undefeated.
to win the World Series on the same day, niggas might not even be able to go to work on Friday.
Like I said, I might not make it to Friday if Thursday night happens. like I
Yeah,
wanted to.
yeah. And even if we do lose on Thursday, Phillies at least, I know we still got the series wrapped up. Because I got us with a win tonight, and 9 times out of 10 we should win tomorrow. So
I
don't see us losing at home, man.
We got to go back to back.
And oh man, what's the pitcher for the Astros? What was his name?
That shit to bed last night.
Yeah, I can't think of his name. Colors, I think his
something
last name
Jr.,
is.
yeah.
Thanks for the tipping. We
Yeah,
needed
thanks,
that.
bro,
But
thanks.
one thing, like I said, I'm nowhere close to the MLB expert. So just let it be known. If the next pitcher wants to do it tonight, we're all for it. I'm with
Yeah,
it.
we
Just
gonna win
keep
again.
tipping.
We
But
wanna win again.
Phillies definitely are going to win the series.
Yes,
and
sir. Go
Eagles are winning
Phillies.
on Thursday.
Go Phillies, go Eagles.
Eagles are winning 27-6 on Thursday and 4-1. No, for the World Series.
5-2. 5-2.
I hate to say it. Give me a 9-6 game. Phillies win 9-6.
As long as we win.
Yeah, 9-6 Phillies.
As long as we
Thursday
win.
night, there go your predictions right there.
So let me get a go Phillies, go Eagles. And that's all we got for this part of the podcast presented by Simple Math Matrix. It's your boy Mr. aka Super World 357, best known as Prince Godbody, joined by
I would say damn top funny, but once we win this series, I might change it back to Phillies win 22. That might be the new ad name until we.
That might be a good one. It
Yeah,
might lose till we lose.
Yeah, if we win the World Series, I'm changing all my ad names to Phillies win 22.
Fair enough. Fair
No,
enough.
I'm not, but I'm gonna go live pretend like I am.
All right, peace. And I am back to finish off this episode of the podcast presented by Simple Math Matrix. And we actually have some very kind of fucking bizarre news to start off the end of this podcast. And if you have not heard, over the week, it was either early this week or over the weekend, husband of Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, her husband, Paul Pelosi, was recently attacked in his sleep, woken up out of his sleep and attacked with a hammer to the face by a gentleman named, or not even a gentleman, a guy named David DePape, who was a 42 extreme Trumper pretty much. And he's kind of taken, being sick of all the lies and such into his own hands. And this was a targeted attack. This wasn't anything that was necessarily random. The guy told authorities that he had a whole list of people, including politicians, lawyers, just prominent people that had some type of influence. I guess that he knew where he could find that they lived, and he would accost them. But what I have to pull from all this is that political extremism has always existed, and it always will exist. It's just now with this social media age and the fact that a lot of these conspiracy theories are blog and social media app born, that people would think that they're a vigilante. A lot of these people, you see with the Pizzagate thing where the guy went to the restaurant or whatever and was trying to hold it up because he thought that they were hiding children in the bed. Like, these are like people are trying to become Batman or some shit, and it's always against the politicians, and it's a really weird thing that goes on, because I do understand where people get totally invested in politics, seeing as politics are a lot of the determining factors of how we live our lives. But people get extreme to the point where they're fanatic for a person or against a person. Nancy Pelosi is kind of a for these alt-right, far-right, extreme people. She's a figurehead of all the bad that's being done in the world to them. And there's no telling them otherwise. And there's no telling them that if they believe in their freedom and their rights as an American, that they can't or shouldn't do this shit. And that's where it really becomes twisted. It's no longer people becoming passionate about politics and then changing the politics. It's about people becoming impassioned with either a feeling of love or hate. It has nothing to do with the actual policies or anything like that. It has all to do with how the image of Nancy Pelosi makes you feel, because she represents the left and everything you hate about the left. But that's not you trying to make the world not better or not even in your way. That's just you finding someone to mob up against or mob up with. And that's all it is. It's done on the left and the right, but we see it honestly more with these far right, we'll call them wannabe vigilantes, taking matters into their own hands and doing shit like breaking into houses and attacking 80-year-old men who have really nothing to do with any of the shit you're mad about. But hey, it's the world we live in. People are going to choose what to be mad about and how to react. We've seen that with the whole Kanye West situation these last few weeks, that right and wrong words have consequences, and that means you got to pay for what you say or who you're associated with too. I guess in the case of Paul Pelosi, because this has nothing even to do with what he says. This is just wild. It's ridiculous. It's literally the definition of ridiculous. It's ridiculous if you ask me. But people weren't even like that mad about that, seemingly. That didn't even really break real news, honestly. I mean, it did break real news. It was national news, but that's not what people were talking about this week. The only thing people on the social media apps, and specifically Twitter, have been talking about is the fact that Elon Musk now officially owns Twitter, which has already begun to divide the platform, which is something he was saying that he was essentially trying to stop. Was a division in the platform. He wanted to create an open space for discussion, thought, and things like that. But as soon as he begins to own it, it's almost a mass exodus of users from Twitter as soon as Musk takes control. And this kind of ties into what I was talking about with people going extreme with just extreme with their thoughts nowadays. And I understand hating, I guess, disliking Elon Musk for whatever reason. But a lot of people are leaving the platform because they don't think that he will do what's correct with the platform. And what that means is he's not going to filter speech that makes them uncomfortable, which I don't. I think that that's kind of, people are doing that to, yeah, it's safe space, protecting yourself. And I understand you're allowed to protect yourself, but there's also spaces where protection is not always guaranteed. And if it's just an instance of words and not actions, I guess that's a little bit more permissible. But for the actual fact, for the people who don't just hate Elon Musk, reason a lot of people want to leave Twitter is that they are going to be charging for verification now. And it's seemingly now that it won't be just big people, big personalities, established personalities that get the check. Now it'll be that if you pay for it, you get it. At first, it was supposed or alleged that it was going to cost Twitter Blue with the verification would cost $20 a month. Elon Musk, being active on the platform, saw all the outrage against that, and a few days later said, you know what, fuck it. We'll make it $8 because Twitter can't run on just ads alone. Which is true. There's people who play for Twitter Blue and all the features of Twitter that they are getting money that way. But a lot of people, I feel like, are going to hate the fact that you can pay for verification because it doesn't mean anything anymore. And to a lot of people, that verification was kind of all they had in a sense. And when you take that away from them or you make it less exclusive, the app, I guess it doesn't seem as good, but that's not even, I guess what I'm trying to say. I guess what I'm trying to say is he's not forcing the monetization on all the profiles. So if you weren't buying into it before, you're probably not going to buy into it now. So is Twitter just going to fall off, not because of Elon Musk? People are going to use him as a scapegoat, or is it actually, is the him trying to monetize it and create and make money off of it actually going to hinder it? That's a question that'll be answered, I guess, in the future when we do actually get around to it and see what happens. But for right now, I don't see it really changing the atmosphere much. I mean, it did, though, at the same time, because as soon as he was, totally in control of Twitter, they said the usage of the N-word went up 500%, which is, I mean, it's probably kids just saying it because they can say it now without being banned. People, it's going back to a non-governed internet. I think that's really where half of the internet wants it and half of the internet doesn't. Half of the internet wants the internet to be a wild, wild west, and the other half wants it to be a civilized place where certain people aren't allowed in if it's perceived that they're going to do harm to the community, which makes complete sense. I guess you got to pick which side of the fence you're on with this one. But as for Twitter, Elon Musk owns both sides of the fence. So just pick which one you're most comfortable on, I guess. And lastly, things that have to do with social media. Sorry, my throat's getting a little bit dry. The last thing we have to do with social media is going to be Elon Musk. Not Elon Musk, goddamn, I'm getting my topics mixed up. I'm also getting my mouth mixed up. But no, the actual really big news for creators in general this week was Mr. Beast, the famous YouTube personality, guy from YouTube. That's all I really know him from. And that's what he is known for. He's really charitable, gives away shit tons of money at a time. But what he's attempting to do now is he's seeking an evaluation of $1.5 billion for his companies. That includes his YouTubes, all the shit he does for charity and everything he does associated with his YouTube, inside and out. And for him to be as young as he is, with as much, making as much money as he does, solely off of social media, it would kind of be dumb to not call him the king of this shit at this point. Where he'll be able to get a 1.5, if he's able to get a $1.5 billion valuation, that'll make him, and that'll make content creation skyrocket, I feel like tenfold, because now it'll be verifiable that the money is there. We see Joe Rogan got $100 million from Spotify, but at the same time, Joe Rogan has a footing and sort of entertainment culture for 10 years before that happened. Mr. Beast is not as well tenured as somebody like Joe Rogan, but is still able to do is probably going to be able to make 10 times as much money from get that $1 billion valuation, or maybe even $1 billion check from a company because of how rapidly he's done it. And content creation is something that has to be done constantly in order for it to be profitable. You know, we see guys like Wallow and Gilly just got a really big deal from Barstool. We don't know the exact amount of money, but they saying they're going to be rich forever. But that didn't take, you know, just putting out an episode every now and then. They did this every week for years. Mr. Beast puts out his content, you know, damn near every day for years, weekly for years, builds these elaborate sets, elaborate scenarios for this shit to take place. You know, they're funding their content creation constantly. Everything is constant. But as long as the consistency and the is there, you're not gonna, you might fail, but if you succeed, you're gonna succeed way bigger than you ever thought. And I think that this whole him even attempting to seek valuation that big means way more to creators than we're giving it credit to now. Because if he's the first to do this off of just something he created and you know, in his room on his laptop or with his phone or whatever, then this will open up damn near a whole new industry, because YouTubing and content creating and podcasts is an industry now, but it's still kind of budding. It's still not there. So with something like this will make the people who maybe are stuck in the back, you know, the old days of entertainment say, you know what, fuck it, let me throw some money, let me fund a starter, let me do this, let me, you know, make sure these content creators have what they need in order to make the money that they want so I can make more money and just create another booming industry. So I gotta say props to him for that, because that takes a lot of work just to even get to the point where you think you might be able to, you know, cross over and take that step. Like I said, it's something to look forward to and inspirational as a content creator myself. But that's all I have for this week. It is your boy, Mr. aka Superall 357, best known as Prince Godbody. I'm asking that you follow us on all your favorite social media platforms at Simple Math Matrix, except for Twitter, where it is Simple Math MTRX. That's all I got for this week for y'all.